And welcome back to Texas Cable News. Gadget Guy is back with us this afternoon, and we're going to talk about invisible braces. But if you have computer questions, anything technology related, give us a call, 1-877-977-TXCN.
Boy, he's really branching out. Gadget Guy himself, and he brings along his guest orthodontist, Dr. Robert Orkowski. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Wow, amazing. Before we talk to your orthodontist, let's find out what this is all about.
Well, for years, I've had a little bit of a crowding problem in my teeth. I had an eye tooth, one of the side fangs here, that was overlapping on my front tooth. And the only reason why it bothered me is during some camera shots on TV, I'd see like a black hole there, and as we get tied on my teeth here. This is, in September, I started the Invisalign process, and actually if you go back to my teeth, I'm going to tell you something. Right now my top teeth are done, so I'm not wearing the liners, but I actually have them on my bottom teeth right now.
Wow, they're invisible.
They're invisible. So we're going to talk about the process of how these invisible braces work, and it's an amazing technology. And in case I need to defer any hard questions to my orthodontist, that's why I brought him as my entourage today.
Glad to be here.
We've got a story on that. Let's take a look at it.
One orthodontic company is making it easier and more attractive for adults and many teens to get the teeth they've always wanted. The Invisalign system straightens teeth using a series of clear, nearly invisible, removable plastic aligners.
The models are poured and then digitalized, and from these digitalized models, a 3D movie is constructed that shows the movement of the teeth from the beginning to the desired end result. After the orthodontist authorizes the final result, the aligners are then constructed and sent back to the orthodontist.
Once the aligners are made, the patient wears each set for about 2 weeks. Teeth are moved millimeter by millimeter over the course of treatment until the desired smile is achieved. Invisalign works for patients with dental crowding, spacing, and patients who have relapsed from earlier treatment with braces.
All right, so we got the basic gist of what it's all about. You want to tell us the... oh, good.
We can see his
That was more than we needed to know. Lovely smile, thank you very much.
But there's a ton of technology behind this process, and it's like the high-tech teeth. Even though these are plastic liners, and you wear them about every, 2 weeks?
2 weeks you change.
And I had 18 liners A-liners on my top teeth and 25 on my bottom teeth. And the process that goes behind these, the manufacturing, is they take a plaster mold of your teeth. And this plaster is done by your dentist, or your orthodontist rather, in your community. And they're actually sent in to the Invisalign company. And what happens there when they get them?
They take the models, Dave, and they will then input that into the computers and create a virtual model. And from that, they can, through, destructive scanning.
And this is the process.
Okay.
This is the process we're about to see right here. They put this barrier coating over the plaster molds. Then they fill this up with this goo. And this goo goes into an autoclave, which is this tank here, and they're actually baking this, and it makes a solid substance. So basically, it's a brick of black goo with white teeth in it. So now this company, Invisalign, has these destructive scanners, and this is the process here. I've showed you flatbed scanners before where you scan a paper document.
Right.
Well, basically they scan, then they remove a layer of this goo, then they do another scan, and it's this destructive process which basically builds a topographical map. Now, that's the map that shows all the contour lines of all the elevation.
So in layman's terms, you're kind of carving down to the...
Carving the mountain, and you're building a three-dimensional map of every tooth. Now, the scanner takes a picture of each layer as it's shaved off, and it pulls it into the computer for modeling. You can see, here's an example of those shaved layers. And then, once you pull it into the computer, you've got an exact replica of every tooth in your mouth. And you can do this 3D rendering, this 3D graphic. So this is the technology behind it, when you can do this, and this is called, I believe, a clean check. Is that right?
Yes, that's a clean check, and that's what I look at and approve. If it isn't the way I want it, then I can just email them back and say, look, I need this refined, I need this changed or that, and then when it finally does fit every criteria that I need it to fit, then I okay it, and then they go ahead and create the actual aligners themselves. And I don't know if you want to take a look at these or not, but this is just an example.
Just a clear piece of plastic.
I was wondering, if, when you're wearing them on the top teeth, does it cause you to have a lisp at all?
Yeah, you have just a little bit of a lisp, but not, no, just very, very slightly. And after a few days or hours, really, of getting used to it, you no longer lisp. But what's unique about these is you can really feel, as you put a new liner in, you can feel the burn, as I like to say. You can feel them pulling your teeth into place. And after a few days, there's really no pain. You can just feel kind of a pulling sensation. And what I would do is put the liners on at night so that pulling, it wasn't enough to keep me from sleeping, but during the first 12 hours, I would be, when I'm not hammering nails into my hand.
So these things are they going to replace the metal braces, or is this just another way to kind of cure the problem?
They work really, really well for moderate cases, a little bit of crowding, a little bit of overbite or a little bit of spacing.
But if you've got a severe case, this might not work for you.
Well, what they do now is we use these in conjunction with regular braces to do as much as we can with these, and then either lay the groundwork with regular braces or do the finish up with regular braces, so that there's even just less time spent in braces in total. But there's no doubt that they really work best for problems that are moderate, so that you can get everything corrected with it, and they do a wonderful job.
And the cost compared to metal braces?
Well, they are more expensive. There's no question about it, and it does offset some of the cost of the actual metal braces. But as you can tell, it's really high tech. I mean, from the CD that you saw, they really it adds a little bit more cost to it, and that will vary from case to case.
Do you have animation of your teeth?
Yeah, we need to see
more of your
movie.
teeth.
Yeah. And this is great. What I did is, this is, actually you can see this. If you go to techtalkback.com, you can actually view this movie. And watch my top teeth here. I've kind of sped up the process. You can see they're slowly moving into alignment. Now the bottom teeth here, you're really going to be able to tell the difference. Oh, we've got there we go. If we get rid of that, you can see. I neglected to remember the weather that would cover it up. But you can actually see these movies, like I said, at techtalkback.com. And this next segment's going to be great. I took a picture of my face, and look at that gap. You see the gap slowly?
I can't concentrate on your teeth. You're freaking me out.
It'll slowly go away. Now, here it is a little bit faster as my gap goes away, and that was over 6 months of the process. On my website, you're going to be able to see all these movies and all this fun stuff. But what's so neat about this is it's stereolithography. They actually use lasers in this gooey substance to burn the liners and create this with a laser printer, essentially.
Well, Dave, we are now believers. We have seen the transformation that is Dave.
More about your teeth than we ever want to know. But thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much, Dave. And for more information on Dave's braces, you can log on to www.borkowskiortho.com.